Hey guys, welcome. We're going to do homework 2, quarter 3. Let's do it. Okay, so we're looking at here and it says angles on side of quads. And this takes a little thinking. So I'm going to give you an example off to the side before we start. So if I think about a square, that's the most regular quadrilateral, right? It has 4 equal sides, 4 equal angles. And I notice that these all add up to these 4 angles, A, B, C, D. Angle A, an angle B, an angle C, an angle D all add up to 360. So we're used to asking the question, what do the angles add up to in a triangle? So we can think about a square as 2 triangles, and this also would make sense. All these 3 angles add up to 180. So I'm just going to call those angle 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Angle 1, 2, and 3 add up to 180. Angle 4, 5, and 6 add up to 180 because those are triangles. So believe it or not, we know whether it's a square or not a square. So even if it was, let's say, a parallelogram, see how that's a triangle and that's a triangle. So angle 1, 2, 3, and angle 4, 5, and 6. We know all 6 of these angles would have to add up to 2 180s. Hopefully that logically makes sense. So because any 4-sided shape can be thought of as 2 triangles, we know that all quadrilaterals, let's write our rule out, all quads have 4 angles, right? And those have to add up to 2 180s because all 4-sided shapes are 2 triangles. So 2 180s is 360. So let's set these up and solve. Okay, so these 4 angles, angle W, angle T, angle U, plus angle V. If we added those 4 up, we know they add up to 2 180s because we think of this as 2 triangles. Does that make sense? So we don't know what W is, so I'm going to call that X. So I have X plus 100 plus 80 plus 100. And let's add this up. Okay, so we're almost done. We're like, well, what did we make X? Well, we called X W, and that was just the angle. So the measure of angle W is equal to what I called X, and that's 80. We solved. Good job. Now let's do it again. These 3 angles, A, B, C, and D, all have to add up to 360 or 2 180s. So let's add them all up, 85, 95, 120, and this angle X all have to add up to 360. I'm going to get out my calculator and make this go a little faster. And I get X is equal to 60. So I made X the measure of angle D, so what's the measure of angle D? It has to be 60. Good job. So you can probably pause the video now and finish most of these yourself and then just replay the video if you want to double check your answer. You can also plug 60 back in to double check your answer instead of watching the video. So let's keep going. So the measure of angle G is 98. Now, what do I mean by double checking? So if I plug 98 back in, I should be able to add these up and get 360. Yep, and I get 360. Now this one you can probably get. You already know that x would have to be 90. We can also use the same steps. We get x is 90, and I called x the measure of angle L. So the measure of angle L is 100. So the measure of angle V is 70. So x is 69. I called x the measure of angle T. I'll call this x. So used to writing 180 there, so I just have to be really careful because those should all add up to two 180s, 360. Measure of angle Y is 95. All right, so let's go to the back. Okay, now you can see maybe why we wanted to use algebra. So let's set this up. So it says solve for x, and that's all they want, so I'm going to stop right there. So here, 16x and 15x combine to make 31x, and 90 minus 6 plus 90 is 174. So x here is 3. Let's do this one. All right, last one says find the measure of the angle. Okay. So I got x is 0. So that might not be too scary. I have 90, 84. If that's 0, this angle is just 118 and this angle is 68. So let's double check that because that's kind of a weird outcome. 84 plus 118 plus 68 plus 90 is 360. Yeah, so the measure of angle y is 118. Set this one up. So I want to know what angle F is, and if X is 9, then 10 times 9 is 90. Check out the next video for the last two.